You know what I find fascinating? We talk so much about attraction, dating, chemistry, but no one really tells you how to create that magnetic pull. That kind of pull where he can't stop thinking about you, craves you, and sees you as the one woman who stands out from the rest. One of the most powerful ways to create deep desire in a man is to build sexual tension without immediately giving in. Most people think that in order to be wanted, they need to rush into physical intimacy or give constant attention. But true obsession is born in the space between wanting and having. It's not about withholding affection or playing hard to get. It's about understanding the natural rhythm of attraction and letting tension rise until it becomes irresistible. When a man feels that he's on the edge of something exciting, when he senses your attraction, but also feels there's more to unlock, that's when the fire truly ignites. Sexual tension isn't always loud or overt. Sometimes it's in the small, charged moments, the brief glance you hold a little too long, the smile that lingers after a flirty comment, the casual brush of your hand on his arm, or the way you suddenly pull your energy back just when things are getting intense. It's about giving him a taste and then making him crave more. This isn't about manipulation. It's about presence. When you're fully grounded and connected to your sensuality, your energy speaks louder than words. Men are highly responsive to anticipation. When something feels too easy or instantly available, it loses its excitement. But when something feels earned, when there's a build-up, a dance, a slow unveiling, that's when it becomes deeply desirable. So much of sexual obsession comes from what he imagines, not just what he experiences. When you create moments that allow his mind to wander, to fantasize, to wonder what it would feel like to be closer to you, that's where obsession begins to brew. It's also about emotional control. When you know your worth and you're not afraid of space, you instantly stand out. Most people rush into connection out of fear. Fear of losing someone's attention. Fear of not being enough. But when you trust in your energy and your ability to create connection without needing to force anything, he senses that. That self-trust is magnetic. It tells him that you're not here to chase validation. You're here because you choose to be, and that choice makes him feel chosen when the connection deepens. Your body language plays a huge role here. Open posture, slow movements, soft eye contact. These things all communicate confidence and invite curiosity. When you're relaxed in your own skin, when you're not rushing or seeking approval, you allow desire to breathe. You become the spark that lights his imagination and pulls him closer without needing to say a word. The key is to let the moment unfold without trying to control it. When you show him that you're comfortable with tension, that you're not afraid to sit in the charged space between you, it signals emotional maturity and sensual depth. These are rare qualities, and when a man senses them, he doesn't just want you. He becomes fascinated by you. The way you use your voice and eyes can create an emotional and sexual connection that goes far beyond words. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it, and how you look at him while you're saying it. Your voice can either soothe or stir him. Your eyes can make him feel seen or set him on fire with anticipation. When you master this subtle form of communication, you bypass logic and tap straight into his emotional and physical response system. Start with your voice. The tone, pace, and inflection can dramatically affect how your words land. A softer, slower tone creates intimacy. It forces him to lean in, to listen more closely, to feel like what you're saying is meant just for him. When you lower your voice slightly and speak from a place of calm confidence, it sends a powerful message. One that says, I'm comfortable, I'm grounded, and I know the power I carry. A playful or teasing tone adds layers of intrigue. When you pair that with intentional pauses, allowing silence to hang just a second longer than expected, you create a rhythm that pulls him into your world. Then there's eye contact. This is where the real magic happens. Most people are afraid of sustained eye contact because it exposes vulnerability. But when you meet a man's eyes and hold his gaze without flinching, without looking away too quickly, you show a level of confidence that captivates him. Your eyes become a mirror, a gateway, a silent invitation. And in that moment, he doesn't just see you, he feels you. He becomes immersed in your presence. The trick is to blend intensity with softness. You don't want to stare him down, you want to make eye contact feel like an experience. A look that lingers after a joke, a glance that drops to his lips and then back to his eyes, a warm smile that holds a hint of mischief. These little moments can send waves of electricity through him. It makes everything you say more impactful and everything you don't say more mysterious. When you align your voice and eye contact with your emotions, you create congruency. That's when a man feels your authenticity, your passion, your curiosity. It's not just seduction, it's emotional truth. You're showing up fully, and you're inviting him to do the same. That energy is rare. It creates depth. It makes him feel like he's not just talking to a woman. He's being drawn into an experience, a vibe, a moment that feels alive. And here's the part that's often overlooked. Your ability to remain calm and playful in that connection is what keeps the tension building. You're not seeking approval. You're not rushing to fill silence. You're letting the energy between you do the talking. You're using your voice and your gaze to say, I see you, and I know exactly what I'm doing, without ever needing to spell it out. Flirting, through subtle physical touch, is one of the most primal and effective ways to trigger a man's desire without ever needing to say a word. It bypasses the logical brain and speaks directly to the body, creating a sense of excitement, tension, and connection that words alone can't achieve. The key is in the subtlety, touch that's gentle, playful, unexpected, and deliberate, because it doesn't scream, it whispers. And in those whispers, it awakens a part of him that begins to crave more. When you incorporate light touch into your interactions, it creates an invisible thread between you. A touch on the arm when you laugh, a quick brush of your hand on his back when you walk past, letting your fingers rest for just a moment longer than necessary, these small gestures speak volumes. They show comfort, confidence, and warmth, but more importantly, they create a spark. That spark, when repeated subtly over time, builds into a fire of physical anticipation. Men are highly responsive to cues that are non-verbal. While compliments or conversation may engage his mind, it's touch that speaks to his instincts. And when that touch feels intentional but effortless, it becomes incredibly seductive. It suggests openness, receptiveness, and a bold kind of femininity that's deeply attractive. It doesn't just tell him you're interested. It shows him you're in tune with the moment and not afraid of closeness. One of the most powerful things about touch is that it allows you to be present in your body. When you're truly aware of your physical space and how you use it, you naturally carry yourself with more poise and sensual energy. You become more expressive, more magnetic, and more in control of the atmosphere you're creating. And that atmosphere is where desire begins to grow. Touch also creates emotional bonding. Physical closeness releases chemicals like oxytocin, which enhance trust and connection. Even the lightest touch can lower defenses and build intimacy. But here's the secret: it's not about touching all the time. It's about choosing the right moments, then pulling away to leave him wanting. That contrast between contact and distance, warmth and space, is what drives obsession. It's not what's constantly available that's craved. It's what feels fleeting, special, personal. There's also immense power in where you touch. The upper arm, the shoulder, the small of the back, the side of the waist, these are all areas that are socially acceptable but deeply charged when touched with intention. It shows you're confident in your body and that you're comfortable enough to cross the boundary between casual and intimate without being overt. And the more he starts to associate your touch with feeling good, the more he begins to seek it. It's in these small, carefully placed moments of contact that you communicate your presence in a way that's unforgettable. You're not demanding his attention, you're commanding it, and he may not even realize why, but every time your skin brushes his, something inside him lights up and starts to chase that feeling again, triggering a man's hero instinct through appreciation. Is one of the most emotionally powerful ways to build lasting sexual and emotional obsession. At the core of every man, no matter how confident or successful he appears, is a deep desire to feel needed, valuable, and irreplaceable to the woman he cares about. When you tap into this part of him, not by stroking his ego, but by genuinely appreciating what he brings to your life, you awaken his protective, giving nature and create a deep emotional connection that enhances desire. Appreciation isn't about constant praise or over-the-top compliments. It's about the specific moments where you acknowledge his effort, his presence, or the way he makes you feel in a way that's real. When you highlight things he likely doesn't hear often, the way he solved a problem, how you felt safer with him around, or how his passion about something turned you on, you speak directly to the part of him that wants to be more for you. This emotional trigger, when activated correctly, can make him feel like no other woman understands or sees him the way you do. Men fall in love with the way they feel around you. When you show him that his actions matter, that his presence adds value to your world, he begins to associate you with feelings of purpose and worth. This builds a kind of emotional magnetism that goes deeper than physical attraction. It makes him want to show up for you, impress you, and be his best self in your presence, not out of obligation, but because you inspire that part of him. Appreciation also communicates that you're not just in the relationship to receive, you're there to witness and uplift. In a world where men are often expected to be strong without needing reassurance, a woman who notices his quiet strengths and makes him feel admired becomes unforgettable. That admiration doesn't have to be grand. It's often in the little comments, like telling him you noticed how calm he stayed in a tough situation, or how sexy it was when he took charge of something confidently. These details are like emotional currency. They go straight to his heart. This kind of emotional connection makes physical intimacy more potent. When a man feels emotionally appreciated, he lets his guard down. He becomes more vulnerable, more generous, and more drawn to you on every level. He doesn't just want you, he wants to earn you, protect you, and keep you close. Sexual obsession grows deeper when it's tied to emotional significance, and appreciation is what bridges that gap. You don't need to perform or pretend to make this work. It's about being present enough to notice what makes him unique and expressing that recognition in a way that feels sincere. When he starts to feel like a hero in your eyes, not because he's perfect, but because he's showing up as himself, you tap into one of the most primal and fulfilling aspects of masculine desire. Being unpredictably playful and emotionally mysterious is one of the most intoxicating combinations when it comes to creating sexual obsession in a man. It's the exact balance of being warm and engaging, while also keeping parts of yourself delightfully out of reach. When a man feels like he can't quite figure you out, like every moment with you holds the potential for surprise, it keeps his attention locked in and his curiosity alive. The truth is, people lose interest in what becomes too predictable. Predictability kills excitement, but unpredictability fuels desire. Playfulness is the art of keeping things light, fun, and unexpected. It's teasing him with a clever comment, challenging him with a flirty remark, or switching up the energy just when he thinks he has you figured out. It's laughing at your own joke, giving him a sly look, or pretending to be unimpressed in a way that makes him want to impress you even more. When you're playful, you're not afraid to shift the mood. You bring joy and levity without trying too hard. It makes you feel easy to be around, yet hard to pin down. But when you combine that with emotional mystery, something deeper happens. Mystery isn't about hiding who you are. It's about not giving everything away all at once. It's about revealing yourself in layers at your own pace and leaving room for him to wonder what's beneath the surface. Maybe you share a vulnerable moment, then pivot to something light. Maybe you show him you're into him, but you don't revolve your world around his validation. That duality is magnetic. It keeps him leaning in, trying to unlock more of you. Mystery also lies in how you manage your emotional energy. When you're not overly reactive, when you take your time to respond, when you're not constantly available, it signals that you have a full, rich life beyond him. That creates tension. He starts to wonder what you're thinking, what you're doing, what it would take to become someone who truly gets to see all of you. That curiosity turns into desire. Desire turns into pursuit. And pursuit is where obsession begins. Men are hunters by nature, not just physically, but emotionally. They want to earn the deeper parts of you. If everything is offered up front, there's nothing left to chase. But if you reveal pieces over time, especially in moments of unexpected connection, he'll start to feel like every experience with you is unique, almost like discovering a hidden world. And that world becomes something he doesn't just want to visit, he wants to live in it. Being unpredictably playful and emotionally mysterious also shows that you're confident in your value. You're not trying to prove your worth, you're inviting him to discover it. You're leading with energy rather than words. You're creating a rhythm that keeps him guessing, smiling, intrigued, and ultimately addicted to the experience of being around you. Because he never knows what's coming next. And that's exactly why he can't stop thinking about you. Owning your desires without shame or apology is one of the most powerful forms of feminine energy. And it's an energy that creates magnetic, unforgettable attraction. Most women have been conditioned to downplay their wants, to hide their sensuality, or to make themselves smaller in order to be liked. But the moment you start fully embracing what you want emotionally, sexually, and energetically, you step into a space where you no longer seek permission to be desired. You are desire. And that shift is what pulls a man in on a deeper, more obsessive level. When you own your desires, you radiate confidence, not just in how you look, but in how you express yourself. You don't wait for him to guess what turns you on, what excites you, or what kind of connection you're craving. You communicate through your body, your energy, and even your silence. You show that you're comfortable in your skin, that your needs matter, and that intimacy is not something you just give. It's something you experience and enjoy equally. That mutuality is sexy. It tells him that you're not afraid of pleasure or connection, and that being with you is going to be an experience that awakens every part of him. There's something incredibly seductive about a woman who knows what she wants and isn't afraid to live it out. It's not about being aggressive or dominant, it's about being emotionally honest and embodied. When you stop apologizing for your preferences, for your sensuality, for your emotions, you become real. That realness is raw, rare, and utterly compelling. Most men have never experienced a woman who brings both softness and strength in such an unapologetic way. That contrast creates intensity. It makes him lean in, curious, wanting to know what else you're not holding back. Owning your desires also sets a standard. It teaches him how to meet you not just physically, but emotionally and mentally. It shows him that connection with you is a space where truth is valued, where mutual exploration is possible, and where both people get to feel fully alive. That kind of space is rare, and once he experiences it, he doesn't want to go back to anything surface level. He wants the woman who isn't afraid to take up space, to speak up, to show her passion and her pleasure without fear. This energy doesn't require perfection. In fact, it becomes more powerful when it's layered with vulnerability. When you can say what you want while still staying open, receptive, and emotionally present, it creates a dynamic that's both intense and deeply human. You're no longer just someone he's attracted to. You're someone he feels connected to on a level that goes beyond logic. Men become sexually obsessed with the woman who makes them feel something they can't find elsewhere. And when you fully own your desires, you invite him into a world that is rich, real, and emotionally electric. You give him permission to own his asterisk desires too, and together, that creates a bond that becomes impossible to forget or replace.